Welcome everyone. Today on the channel we'll be building a Skyrim diorama. I love all things Skyrim. Currently doing a playthrough where I'm doing a no fast travel, which really makes me appreciate how big Skyrim actually is when you're forced to do quests on the same side of the map. So that really inspired me to look at some Skyrim STLs and want to start to build something. So let's get into what I wanted to build and what it looks like.
So when searching for STLs, I came across their painting competition and decided to put together a diorama to get entered. So I downloaded their Dragon Priest model and got started. So after roaming around in game, I decided to go with the ruin of Volskag. My plan was to have the Dragon Priest positioned here and looking out this way into the vastness of Skyrim. So let's look how this setup would look at, and I'll show you my overall plan. So as you can see from this highly detailed drawing, this is the side view of the plan. So my plan was to make a base for the Dragon Priest to sit on, so that'll be that snowy square block piece of the ruin, which will basically just be a flat piece with some snow and probably some texture on a base. And then you're going to be looking out this way, as shown by the view arrow. You'll see that arch rock piece ruin that was shown in the other image. And then I'm planning to have a backdrop here that'll catch. It'll kind of have three different sections. You'll have the Dragon Priest in the foreground, something up as kind of a middle ground, and then a nice Skyrim backdrop to showcase the piece. And since we'll be targeting Volskag as our ruin of choice, that means our Dragon Priest will be Volsung. Um, as you can see, he's got kind of a reddish mask. It shows up better in your inventory. He's got a bit of a purplish cape, kind of a goldish armor here. So this will be the color scheme we'll work on. And also I noticed when I fought him in game, he does have some blizzard powers. So I'm going to try to make up a blizzard storm for him as well. I think he uses a frost cloak in game. So I'll try to be modeling that with some hot glue. So rather than try to model an arch, I went to Modifius and went to their Elder Scrolls section on my mini factory. I'll link this in the description. But I purchased this arch, downloaded it, and got it set up in my slicer. So these are the downloaded components of the arch. So this is 4 different sections. You've got the base piece right here, which this slots into here, and this piece slots in over here. And then this piece has a tab underneath, which connects. You can see there's a little slot down here. And then that connects up over into here. And then is also supported by this piece. You can see there's a slot here, which this piece slots into. So I'm going to get all these pieces printed, and then we're going to start the paint job. As far as the setup, I just used a 0.12 layer height since I want a little bit more detail on these pieces, and then I did use supports just in case. I did supports everywhere. These should be pretty easy to pull off here. Again, this one especially needed support since this base isn't flat here. But let's get it printed and see how it looks.
All right, so here's the assembled piece primed in a matte gray. There are a few gaps here on assembly. For the shot, those won't be in it. It's only going to be kind of this upper portion here. I'm still going to paint that, but I'm not going to worry about filling in these gaps just because they're not going to be shown on the final product. So let's get into this, and I'm going to start with a Nuln Oil wash on this whole piece right here.
So the goal of this Nuln Oil wash is just to fill in all the crevices and low-lying areas with a dark black effect. So I'm just spreading this all over the piece, working in any crevices, and just covering the whole thing. And once this is finished, we're going to let it dry. Now that the wash is dry, we're going to move on to dry brushing, starting off with a gray storm. This is just an acrylic paint. So I'm working it off my brush and then just start applying it over the whole piece. And then just trying to hit all the highlights with it. This is a bit more generous since this is the first dry brush that I'm doing. Moving on to a neutral gray. Going to do it even lighter on this one. Again, trying to hit the high spots and just try to hit all the details that I can with this. This was kind of a medium, and eventually I'll work to an even lighter one. This is now to slate gray. Again, just hitting the highlights and then trying to work over the entire piece, especially the ones that'll be visible in the final photo, which is be more that upper section. And the final one is a light buttermilk. And again, this is going to be a very light brush, really just trying to hit the high spots on this, just touching it very lightly on those, trying to get those fine little edges to make sure they are visible, and you can really see them in the final piece. All right, next I move on to flock. This is from All Game Terrain. This is a white flock, so I just mixed PVA with a little bit of water. It was a little bit too runny there initially, but then basically just applied spots where I thought snow would stick, and then sprinkled the flock on top of that. So not doing it too much, but I do want to make sure it's visible. So some spots I think where snow wouldn't really stick, I just put some on there to make sure that you could see it in the final photo. With the arch out of the way, let's move on to the mini. All right, so both files for the Dragon Priest and the base are pre-supported. So I just imported these into Chitubox, sliced them, and got them set up for my Mars 4. I'm printing with a Seriatech gray resin, and we'll see how the mini turns out.
Alright, and here we are with the 3D printed mini. Looks like I still had some clear in my vat when I put in the gray, so it's a little bit more translucent, but I mean this whole thing's gonna get base coated in black, and then start the paint job from there. So let's paint it in black and get started on the paint job.
For our first coat, we're going to go with the Genestealer Purple, and this is going to be covering all the cloak pieces. So really most of the model besides the armor, the flesh, and the staff are going to be this purple. So I'm going to just apply a light coat all over back in the front of these cloak pieces, and just trying to work the paint into the crevices and just make sure I get good coverage with it and make sure nothing's left behind. This mini was definitely very fragile and a little bit difficult to grip. So I was just trying to be careful and working slow and touching on all the pieces and getting it covered in this base layer of purple. When that's done, we're going to move on to the next step. So we're doing the base in a Lothern blue, and this is just covering everything. I'm going to do a edge around the base in a black, so I'm not worried if I go over the edges a little bit, but just making sure I hit all the crevices. There's a lot of little rings and detail on this, so I'm just covering that all with a single layer. Then I'm going to start with a death metal for the lower portion of his armor, so this is a little bit darker. It doesn't hit the light as much. Then I'm going to move on to a skull crusher brass, and then I try to blend that in with the death metal at the bottom. And then I'm also going to try to hit the rest of the shoulders and then his arms with the skull crusher brass as well. And then just try to cover any other metallic bits. The face mask is going to be a different gold color, so just the armor will be in the skull crusher brass color. Again, just trying to work. I did blend some skull crusher brass and death metal to try to blend that a little bit together at the bottom, and then just using pure skull crusher brass for the upper portions. And for the staff, I used an Iron Warriors, which is a little bit darker than what the staff should be. And actually, Volsung doesn't carry a staff, but this is what a typical staff looks like. And then I moved on to an Eshin Gray for the flesh, which he doesn't have a lot of flesh, but he's got hands and feet showing. So I just did a light coat with those and just covered them and make sure there weren't any unpainted bits of his flesh sticking out. Now I did a layer of, again, a gold for the face mask. And now we're moving on to the wash. So this is a Drukhari Violet, covering all the purple areas with this. And again, trying to work it in all the crevices and make sure I touch anything that had the Genestealer purple layer on it. So both front and back, a little bit on the side of his face there. Again, just work it in, make sure I don't leave any crevices uncovered there. Next up, Nuln Oil on all the metallic bits. So this Nuln Oil will go over his metallic armor as well as the face mask. And then we're also going to touch off on the staff as well, give that a layer of Nuln Oil wash and let all this dry. Also moving on to the base, Draconoff Nightshade for the base area, as well as his flesh. So the Eshin Gray with a little bit of blue, thought that'd give it a nice kind of dead, cold flesh tone. And then on the base, I just worked in all the crevices here. Again, a little bit tricky to grip, but just covered everything on there.
I apologize for the lost footage, but I figured I would talk about what I did to the mini after the wash phase. So on the cloak, I went and did some highlights with Gene Stealer Purple and then Fulgrim Pink. On the brass metallic bits, I just went back over with some of the Skull Crusher brass and highlighted that. On the face mask, I went and did a little bit more Guyana gold. On the staff, I hit it with some shining silver on the raised parts. And then on the base, I did a little bit of a blue and a white highlights on those swirls. So those were the add-ons after all the wash phase. Then after this, Mini was considered done.
For the base, I had some leftover Crayola Model Magic air dry clay. So just smoothed a piece of that onto a rectangle of craft foam I cut out. Basically just trying to smooth this all out. And then I used a 3D printed texture roller to create some of that stone effect on there. And then I let that dry. Then I cut away the excess foam pieces. Again, this won't really be visible in the final shot, but I just wanted that cut off. And then started with a layer of storm gray. This is a lot of little crevices, so just making sure I get good coverage and work into all the little pieces before moving on to the next step. Once that was covered and dried, I did a Nuln Oil wash on this, and then again worked in all the crevices. And once all this is completely covered, we're going to let that dry and move on to the next step of flocking. So there's some flat spots I wanted to cover. So most of this piece is pretty snowy, so I covered this again with PVA water mixture. Got that all set up, and then I actually used a baking soda instead of my flock. I feel like it was a bit more fine detail. So I got that covered, knocked off, and called that base piece finished. Now moving on to the spell effect, I wrapped a spice container in some baking paper, rubber band on each end to secure it, heated up my hot glue gun, and just tried to make kind of a whirlwind, so a little bit lower, smaller sections on the bottom, and then try to connect the pieces. And just doing a couple lines, I didn't want this to be too large of a piece. Try to connect it and then flatten out certain spots to make sure it wasn't too bubbly. Let that dry. And then I pull it off here. You can see this is the finished glue effect. I think it matches pretty well with the Mini. If you hold it up here, it doesn't cover too much, and it covers similar to what a frost cloak would in the Skyrim game. But I want to add a little bit of paint effect to it, so I start off with a Baroth blue, and then just touching the upper edges and lower edges of the gaps. Again, I'm not covering the whole piece, just those little exposed edges. Once that was done, I moved to a white scar, again touching those edges, but even a little bit lighter effect. So you can see still the blue with a little bit of white edging, and called that complete. As far as the backdrop, I did find this Skyrim wallpaper. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything particular from Volsky looking outward, but I did find this as kind of the best high detail print I could find regarding something Skyrim. I liked the mountains. I don't necessarily like the Dragonborns over here, but I don't know that they'll need the whole photo. So I sent this to Walgreens Photo and got it printed in an 8x10 to use as my backdrop.
So here is the finished stand. I've got some baking soda for my flocking endeavor on that. You can see there's just a thin slit with a curve here. And basically I'm going to slide the photo into here, and then that will serve as the backdrop. Here is the 8x10 Skyrim backdrop. So the plan is this will be the final backdrop piece with this arch then in front, and then the Mini in front of that. So once we get all the pieces together, we'll get it assembled and get a photo.
Here is the finished photo. So you can see we got all the pieces combined together, and I was very happy with how this turned out.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions or comments on the build, please feel free to message me. Put in your comments below. Of all the links to the STLs and everything used in the description. If you like the video, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks.